It is Tuesday night, July 28th, I think it is. I stopped by to get some Chick-fil-A sweet iced tea with extra ice. I've got, that was my hydro jugs. The intention originally was going to be to go to the gym earlier today, but I didn't go to the gym. You know, I'm driving. Fun fact, some people know this about me. Some people do not know this about me. Either way, not a right or wrong. But something I have done for years and 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 years has been when either I have like just some heavy stuff that I need to process, or feeling overwhelmed, or whatever, just doesn't matter. I drive. I'm known to drive. So I'm known to drive on road trips. I'm known to drive, like where I live, drive up to Prescott for iced coffee, drive to Wickenburg for a cinnamon roll, drive to Tempe for an iced coffee, and then go right back home. I'm known to drive, to just use the road as a place of serenity, I'll say. And usually my sunroof is open. It's open right now. My windows are down. I have my playlist going, and it just has been something that I have done for a really long time, and something that I don't regret. And it's interesting to me because there's the people in my life that look at me like I'm crazy. Not anymore. I'm really grateful. Maybe I have some of them, but for the most part, not really. And then I have this other major part of my life, people that understand it's who I am and who I've been, and fully support it. And so earlier today, y'all know I believe in the Lord. And I'm not going to turn this into church sermons, and nobody panic if you're not a believer, but everything happens for a reason. So today I happen to throw on this jacket that I have. It says Mama Bear on it. Early this morning, got up early, needed to get done what I needed to get done, had some errands to run, had an appointment I needed to get to, and so on. And then I got a call this morning from one of my kids, my older kids. So I've got the 5, right? I've got 3 older ones and then the 2 younger ones, and got reached out by one of my older ones. And he reaches out to me. It's my oldest one. He reaches out to me just to check in. How am I doing? Small talk, so on and so forth. And so when he reached out, it just kind of answered normal. And what he shared with me was something that was not within our normal realm. And it was something that required me to just go into Mama Bear mode, I'll say. And I've used the rest of today, and everything is fine now. So everything is fine. I'll say that. But at the time, I didn't know the answer to that yet, right? So I was trying to figure it all out and put it all together. And 2 of my older kids live in Texas. I live in Arizona because I'm here because of the little ones. And I just realized to myself, like, for years I've said this. When the moments matter, who's there? Who do you call? Who do you rely on? So on and so forth. And I'm reflecting, and I've used the rest of today because, again, once I knew everything was fine, I almost have to kind of come down from all of that, right? Because I realized what I realized is in those moments immediately I dissociated because I needed to become as net neutral as possible to make the calls I needed to make and do what I needed to do for the situation. So I became as dissociated very quickly. It's all happening kind of fast, lifetime. And then I had an appointment that I was trying to get to, trying to maintain composure. I'm trying to take care of one thing, move hands with the other, if you will, and so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden, like one of the calls in particular that I had to make, I felt my chest get really heavy. I felt my ears get really cloudy. And I realized in these moments for myself, since I got knocked up at 16, but before I got knocked up at 16, I was helping my mom with my little brother. So I've played a maternal role for a very, very long time, most of my life than I haven't. And I know I've talked about that off and on throughout social media. But I realize when it comes to my kids and where my appointment was, she reminded me, like, you have this Mama Bear jacket on today. I said, irony, because that wasn't planned. I didn't know what was going to happen in the future back then, right? And I said, but I'm grateful I do. I said, but today there's these takeaways, right? And so that's kind of what it all boils down to, because I'm going to get back on the road here in a second to keep driving and turn on my tunes. And there's a beautiful, it looks like a full moon, and maybe it's short of a full moon, but it looks like a damn full moon to me. But you know, I think of these 3 takeaways, and the first takeaway is this: it is really, really, really not easy to show big emotions or expression or feeling, right? Like it's not easy to do that the older we get. I'm 43, I'll be 44 this year, and it's not easy. And today's situation reminded me that I am truly, no ego, no pride, one of the strongest, most resilient human beings, quite possibly, that you're going to meet if you've met me in person. And if you do know me, you can comment, because you know me, so you can answer that, right? But this year is really teaching me how resilient I am, and I have not given myself that credit. I have not given myself that credit for how much I push through and persevere and all these things. And this year, it is like slapping me in the face how much I do and I am. So I'm going to own that positive trait, because that is a positive trait. And I realize it's like, because there was this moment today where I was scared, and I was trying so desperately not to express that outwardly, because I'm trying to be put together. And so when all the dust settled and everything was fine, and I knew everything was fine, I went home and I gave myself full permission to feel that scared that I felt, and just let myself really have it. Let myself really just have that scared. And I sat in my room for a few hours getting work done, but I stayed in my room. I didn't even want to sit in the living room. I didn't want to sit in my office. I wanted just to be in my room. I wanted to be where that's comfort to me. That is, the fan's on, the blinds are closed, my pillows and my things, and just my nightstand with my water, and just, I don't know, I needed to give myself that permission to do that. And then tonight, you know, eating dinner much later than I'm used to eating dinner, and yet just told myself, you know what, today the plan, like from this point on, the plan is there is no plan. So you're just gonna like let yourself. So you want to go out and cruise tonight with the moon and the tunes and the sunroof, girl, do it. You deserve that, and good for you. The second takeaway is, had a conversation with I talked to all 3 of my older kids today, and my daughter, you know, my older ones are finding their new normal after losing their dad last year. And I'm learning how to find my new normal losing him. He's 2/3 of my life, and we were divorced since I was 21, yet very special and close relationship. And so we're all trying to find this new normal that doesn't exist, because normal didn't exist to begin with, right? It's just life, and now trying to figure out life. And my daughter said something when she called me today that really just, you know, part of letting your older kids learn their life is getting out of the way sometimes, right? And then for yourself, because so much of my life involved the kids, that I'm having to learn how to also live my life without them in a good way, in a healthy way, and not in a bad way. But it's things that there's no textbook about it. And I think to myself, something she shared today reminds me that even when I'm giving my kids their space, and even when I'm loving them from afar, my kids know I show up when it matters. They know I show up. They know I show up. They know I will make it happen. They know I will flip the tables. They know I will find them. They know I will be there for them. They know that they can count on me. They know. And I get so worried about that sometimes, because parenting, I've said this for a long time, parenting gives you the greatest joys and the greatest heartbreak that you're ever going to experience in your whole entire existence. They give you your greatest purpose, and they can make you feel completely lost all at the same. But that's these magnitudes. It's so big, because in essence, you're living with, they are your heart and your soul outside of your body. And the older they get, the more intense that becomes, because you see their life and you see them growing up and you see all of these different things, right? And so I'm really grateful today that even with us all trying to figure out the new normal, to know that they know I will show up was very peaceful for me and very, very needed today, this month in general. This month is a big one because it's a 1-year marker of Michael being gone. And this morning, and then the third one was always staying, I say this to myself often: Lord, keep my eyes, ears, and my heart open. Keep my eyes, ears, and my heart open. Nothing, truly nothing phases me. Nothing phases me anymore in life. And I'm very, nothing phases me. I can handle anything. I always say I can handle anything. And my kids know that, and people know that about me. You always say you can handle anything. I can handle anything. I can handle dirty truth, good truth, anything. But just as long as it's not, don't lie to me, and then just tell me, and I will figure it out. My mind is wired to figure things out. And so, I look at today, right, in particular, and I think to myself, life for a really long time has given me every excuse and every reason to be unkind and to be spiteful and to be all of these different things that by society norm I could do and have permission, because of how quote unquote life has been lately, like almost 2 decades, okay? But and maybe longer than that too. So but I choose to be myself. I choose to stay true to me, and I choose me time and time again of who am I as a person. And my person is always the first thing. Like, I have not been jaded. I have not shown up differently than myself. And I've got this compass on my wrist, my tattoo, and it's always, I have it there to remind me to stay true north. And today, this morning I woke up again not knowing what later in the morning was going to bring, and I'm very grateful it all worked out the way it did. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be completely fine. But I woke up and the first thing I noticed outside was, it was raining when I opened the garage. And I love when it rains because it reminds me, I don't know, I believe in heaven, and I'm not going to be shameful for that. I believe in heaven. I believe in the Lord. I believe in angels. I believe in all that stuff. And I was just like, I love it when it rains. I feel like Michael's nearby. And I was just like, cool. You're here. Great. Awesome. Love the overcast. Overcast brings me peace. And here in Arizona, where it's hot as hell, it like brings cooler temps. And I was just like, all the things. So I was like, the sunroof's open, the windows, like just chilling, my mama bear jacket on, like all the things. Not realizing what you have ahead, right? And then you fast forward to tonight when I'm getting out and to go tonight just to kind of unwind on my drive. And there's a full moon. And again, I've posted on this for years and years now. Like it's La Luna in Spanish, and I've always felt like my stepdad is near me when the moon is out. Like when the moon is out that way, I know that my dad is around. And just thought to myself, there's irony and interesting for myself that this morning, the first thing I thought when I saw the clouds and the rain was, Michael's there, and then now my dad's there. And I just think to myself, that's where I do believe in bigger things than me, and that's what I want to wrap up with. No right or wrong answer, but for myself, I'm really grateful in these kind of days, these moments where I believe in something bigger than myself, and I have something bigger than myself to rely on, because I can't carry the weight by myself. I can't carry it alone. And my life, when I was a young single mom with the older 3, when they were itty bitty, I came to that conclusion. There's a story about me being in a closet at my apartment, 2-bedroom apartment with the kids, and it's how I came to my faith. And I just realized, like, I'm really grateful today that I had those things. And I'm really grateful that I have had several years of working on myself and my healing journey, and to have the internal strength that I do, have the wisdom that I do, the knowledge that I do, the patience with myself that I do, the grace with myself that I do, the understanding, all of these different things. I'm like, had something like today happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 7 years ago, I wasn't equipped the same way. I would still get through it and I would handle it, but how I've handled it today, I'm really proud of myself. I'm really I'm proud of myself. And I was talking to a client turned friend of mine or maybe friend turned client, however you want to look at it. But I was talking to her earlier tonight about something, and I just shared with her, you know, we have to celebrate these micro wins that we have for ourselves, where you realize the growth that you've had. Because I think as adults, it's fairly hard sometimes. We truly forget that it was those micro wins that are the big wins as you get older. Because it's like, how did I handle something? Was my comfort to lean in, or did I lean out? Was it to run away? Was it to ask questions to better understand? Was it, you know, did I yell? Did I not yell? Did I not talk about it? Did I talk about anything and all things? Like, nothing off the table on it, but it's celebrating the micro wins. And so, again, I'm gonna finish doing my iced tea thing. I'm gonna eat my French fries. I'm going to eat my chicken nuggets. I'm gonna keep cruising. But I see you. I love you. You matter to me. If this resonates with you, or you know somebody that needs to hear this message, share it with them. But yeah, just wanted to share that little tidbit of my takeaways for today. And don't forget, it's okay to have emotion. It's okay to feel things. It's okay to talk through them. It's okay to process them. It's okay to stay quiet through them. It's okay to need a breather. It's okay to need a journal. It's okay to need to do whatever you need to do in order to process big things, because big things are uncomfortable, but they are also normal, valid, natural, and all the things. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.